Hello everyone, Baldur's Gate 3 console players got access to a user interface changing mod with the HybridUI mod here by Nelsrello, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down all of the changes that come with this mod, as well as talking about the future of UI mods on console, and letting you know if it's worth downloading, and the short answer is yes. So a brief overview of what HybridUI changes, you can just see here that the menus are a lot cleaner, and I'll be doing a one-to-one comparison to show you what it looks like without this mod and with this mod, but it really does tidy things up, especially if you're using a bunch of different modded classes or have a bunch of spells like Mistress spells. It makes things look a lot cleaner and easier to use. Now, I first want to mention this video here by Cleanup, which was posted January 3rd, 2024, where they are actually working on a similar to PC version of the UI for console, as this player is playing on Xbox. And this is kind of a mock-up of what they're working on, and it's actually kind of cool because the creator here of the HybridUI, Nelsrello, is actually going to be using that as kind of a basis for their future updates to try and make this similar to what you see here. I've gotten hundreds of comments about how people wish that there was a UI similar to this, but who knows, maybe in the future we will see something like this. It's really hard to say now if it's possible, but seeing that we got UI mods now on consoles shows that there is a way for it to work. But I would really love to see something like this because I think they did an incredible job with what you see here, as I love playing on PC. It's just nice to have everything down at the bottom of your screen here instead of having to use the radials, and it's similar to how Divinity Original Sin 2 worked on console. All right, so this is what the UI normally looks like, so you can see it. And then for the hybrid UI version, a lot cleaner, as you can literally see right there. So I'll just bounce between them here. That's a regular. And this is with hybrid UI. Looks so much nicer. So again, I'll just do a quick hop between these two so you can see literally changing so much here. So this mod will actually give you all of the benefits that you chose from your race, which you don't normally get to see if you were to respec on controller on PC. So that there is nice. And this here is what the class menu looks like. So you can see, you can actually scroll through it, and it's easy for you to see all the benefits. I'm blocking it right here, but it'll show you all the proficiencies you gain with this. But it's just a cleaner UI for what you, if you have, again, multiple subclass and class mods that are all laid out really nicely here. Whereas this is what it looks like on regular without the UI. So yeah, big win here for hybrid UI. I actually prefer this in pretty much every instance here. So swap between these two here. Yeah. Much cleaner, especially if you're utilizing many different class mods and just want to see at a glance what all of these are going to give you. Because normally you don't get really that much choice. You do see, like, obviously your cantrips and the constitution saving throw proficiencies, whatever proficiencies you get. But on here, you get a lot more out of it. It also gives you things like your proficiencies in weapons that you normally won't get to see on if you're playing without this mod. So here is what the cantrip selection will look like. And again, very clean. Great, again, if you got like, Mistress spells download, so you can see that it is great for expanded spell list, and this is what it looks like naturally. Again, it just looks a lot cleaner. I like the little bar at the top there that kind of shows everything at a glance, and it just wraps it all up nicely and makes it feel closer to what it looks like on PC. I didn't mention the right-hand side of the screen, but that gets a huge change too, showing off your initiative, the health points, spell save DC, which is not something you normally get to see without this mod. I think that looks really good. And what's cool is you actually switch between these using the left and right bumpers here. And if you're on PC, if you're to press right bumper, it just brings up your information for a bit more details here, which, I'd much rather have it being able to swap between it like this instead of just pressing Y to continue, which it is on if you're using without this mod. And here's what the subclass selection screen looks like. So you got all of them at a glance there. They'll show you the different benefits that each of these are going to give you. So it's just nice to see that all really quick and easy versus what it looks like without this mod. Very big difference here. So it is a little different in how the icons are displayed here. It's a lot larger with this mod here. One thing I find interesting is that actually with this hybrid UI mod, it removes the backgrounds off of the class icons, which is something you don't see often. As you can see, there's like a red circle behind the storm cloud. Here it just has a storm cloud. It's really cool. You don't get to see those often. I think it's nice. And here is the background screen. So you can see there, you got the choice there. You can't really change this, but this is what it looks like normally. So again, a small change, but nice. And this is what the skill proficiency screen looks like. Now, it's kind of funny because it's flipped from what it normally is if you're on without this mod. Normally it goes to your ability scores, then your proficiencies. So here it is without, you got your ability scores, you say yes, and then you got your skill proficiencies. Whereas on this mod, you have your skill proficiencies, and then you got your ability scores. So one thing that I did notice is there's actually a lot of class mods that have issues. I just want to make a note of this too for anyone that's watching. Sometimes you do have to toggle your skill proficiencies one time when you're using a class mod. I get this comment like literally probably 1,000 times now in this last year. And if it's not working, you do have to swap the 1 and 2 bonuses. Sometimes they'll actually have them both set to strength, meaning you can't actually confirm your class. I've gotten, again, so many comments about class mods being broken when they're not actually broken. It just forces you to toggle these, which when using hybrid UI, I don't find that you have to do that. And without the mod, I guess this is where it is. The 1-2 bonuses are at the very bottom. So sometimes people just leave them both on strength. Sometimes the classes will leave them there. You do have to toggle these at least once if the class mod isn't working properly. But you can see there, you got the bonuses at the top with the hybrid UI versus at the bottom. And I think this is why so many people just forget to swap these bonuses around. They just leave them as is, which just makes the class mods not work. Again, so many comments about that, so I just want to make a note on that. And I think it works better on the hybrid UI. And weird thing with this, you have to confirm your name, which is kind of funny because you can't change it. So that's one thing that I guess hybrid UI just skips out. Now here's what it looks like without anything, and then I guess it doesn't really change anything here. This is what it looks like on my PC. Obviously, higher resolution causes the different size portraits on the side there, but yeah, you can see these two. Now, where I think it has some of the largest changes is on the magic mirror on the wall. So this is what it looks like with this mod. This is what it looks like without it. Very large change, actually. This one, again, further resembles what it looks like on PC. So to show you guys what PC looks like if I'm not using controllers, this is the normal keyboard and mouse. You've probably seen this in a lot of my videos. And then that's, again, what it looks like with the controller UI active. So yeah, I really like this one a lot more. You can see the tones a lot quicker, like if you're going through the different... So here it is with all the eye colors. And the nice thing is it's actually pretty accessible to get through this list here. It's a little bit different than what it looks like on without hybrid UI, with having it on the right hand side of the screen there. A little bit clunkier, I find, to find your colors and things like that when you're going through this mod. So yeah, big difference here on the complete different side. And again, just the overall menu is so much better here. So there's the eye colors and all that here. And then if we were to have that, you got all your options here. And it's in a completely different order. I think I like the hybrid UI's order a little bit better. So you got your skin colors there, then you have all the maturity, and then you have separate tabs for like your hair. This works so much better than the weird UI that we got here, where you just continually scroll through and like you got your hairstyle down here, and then you swap through the really old style. Like, yeah, you can choose through the hairstyles there. I like this a lot more, having your choice up at the top here, so then you can go through and choose them so much more smoothly. So there it is. That's what it looks like on the hybrid UI versus if you're going to go select in, you do have this here, but it's only 3 options at a time. So a little bit cleaner on the hybrid UI again. But I just like the fact that you have all these options separate. Like, this is so much better in terms of just user ability. I guess the UI is just a lot nicer here because you don't have to go through. And then if you want to change your hair colors all the way down here, where you have it all on one tab, and you have things like your features. So then you can add on a tail or additional changes. Really, it actually is accessible with a lot of the other mods. So like this here is the bangs everywhere mod, so you can apply these onto your character really easily. You got the horns there. I'm using the all horns, all faces for everyone mod there. And then your makeup's really clean to go through. And again, versus without this mod, it's literally just going through your appearance on this here. So it's kind of sloppy and messy if you're like, oh, where's the makeup that I wanted? Or, oh, where's that hairstyle? You literally have to go through so many different menus and scroll up and down. It's really hard to design a character on a console. I'll be honest. I've spent many hours trying to do it. This makes it so much easier. So yeah, and then you got all your accessories at the end. I just like having it all up at the top. So much better. Now, I do want to also mention that HybridUI actually works with the Better UI series, which is stuff that I use quite frequently in my mods. So yeah, there's actually quite a bit of compatibility with other mods. You can just check this out if you're curious. I also did mention this mod a while back when I covered the Baldur's Gate 3 modathon back in July. I'm so happy to see this now on console. I think it's a great mod, and again, is it worth it? Yeah, definitely. It looks so much better, especially if you're someone that likes to redesign their character or respec or try out a bunch of different class mods. It's a great mod, and I hope to see some more, and maybe we'll see the hotbar at the bottom of the screen there at some point in the future. Considering this is such a nice change and just feels so much better, we'll see some more, hopefully, great quality of life mods come to consoles. So let me know your favorite thing about this mod in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Have a great day.